Okay, so if you can see my screen, let me know, let me know, let me know. I believe you can. So we're going to go ahead and get started on this show. Welcome to Mind Your Business, Navigating. I love this so much. Navigating mental health as an entrepreneur. Simply put, it's your mental fitness. That's what we're going to be going over, because as an entrepreneur, you need to make sure that you're taking care of all of your faculties, and that includes your beautiful mind, where the original idea for your business came from. So let's go ahead and get started. And I hear myself, which is weird. That was weird. I stopped it and it's all good. Woo! Yeah, things happen and we move on. That's how you stay resilient. Yeah. Hi, my name is Charente and I'm super excited to present this class onto you. Sometimes there's technical difficulties. Sometimes I'm going to sing in a song, and that's how I build my resilience back for myself. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I want to go over what are we going to be talking about. Let me give you the lowdown right quick. I'm going to first give you my background so you can understand a little bit about me as your instructor, while we continue to move on to talking about the 5 steps of change. This entire presentation is based off that foundation, okay? So that includes us talking about mental health challenges for entrepreneurs, as well as the role of self-care in your mental health, as well as, to close it out, to rodeo it up, is building the resilience and coping skills so that you can live your best life every single day, feeling exactly how you want to feel. That is the whole point of this presentation, and I'm going to give you a gift for coming over right here. Yes, I am. And then we're going to end it out. Before we even get there, I'm going to go and do my about. I'm going to paint the story for today, and then I'm also going to give you what I'm also going to give you what you are to expect today when it comes to how do you be successful. So I want to make sure you have accurate measurements of what's to go on. For me, my name is Charente, and I am a coach, consultant, mentor, and trainer. I know a lot, but I do it all. And I've been doing this for many, many years, helping multiple individuals of every walk of life achieve their level of their success, whatever that was defined as. My core competencies just simply means, what are my super strengths? What are the things that you can readily see and be like, I can understand she is that? Well, I'm personal development, professional development, time management, business development, technical development, project management, leadership, relationship, and conflict management, all wrapped into one person. That's why I did this, because for me, learning about mental health, I started to go down rabbit holes, learning more and more and more, and it got exciting and more exciting, and I started specializing and learning more, and here we are. This is the conglomerate of all of that beautifulness wrapped into one. Okay, let me give you some more of that story, some more of the painting into it. I'm giving you some of my life lessons. Some I used to call them situations, circumstances, but I'm calling them life lessons, okay? Such as experiencing homelessness at the age of 14 with my terminally ill single mom. My father really wasn't there. He was there a little bit in my infancy, and then twice as a teen. I do remember, I can count on my fingers how many times. And I do not fault him. I am thankful for him, no matter what. Okay. 2, I was diagnosed with hidradenitis suppurativa, which is a fancy name for acne that comes from the inside out. And then anemia, as well as polycystic ovaries at the age of 14. I've experienced 6 years of hostile work environments. And I'm so thankful that I learned those lessons and I'm no longer there. I've also experienced a sexual assault at the age of 24. What have I accomplished? I was a homeowner at 18. I was completely cured of hidradenitis suppurativa and polycystic ovaries and anemia at 27. God is good, okay? Married at 25, dog mom at 27, real mom eventually. Don't have that yet, but eventually. I made up to $45,000 USD with just a high school diploma by the age of 21. That is generally unheard of, but I want to let you know it is possible. Okay. And I've also saved three different $10 billion Fortune 500 companies over $2 million collectively. Okay. And I've worked with more than 10,000 individuals on a one-to-one basis. I had a lot of fun. You can also see my professional background. I have many years of different things. I've held multiple titles. You can take a look there, and you can also see my education here. Okay, let's continue. How can you be successful today? Well, make sure you have your water or your preferred beverage handy. Make sure you have a way to take notes. Have a notebook and a paper. Make sure to use the bathroom as needed. Self-care is always the best care, okay? You gotta go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. Your camera does not need to be on today. You can just listen in if you want to. And if you have a question, go ahead and write it in the chat. It'll come directly to me. Okay. And make sure to have a little bit of a snack nearby as well, just in case you get a little bit hungry, because this is a 2-hour class and I want to make sure that you're ready for all the things that could be taking care of you in this moment. Okay. Because I'll be sending information and knowledge. When a thought of judgment comes up, I want you to refocus as fast as you can and remind yourself that you are safe. Okay? Your brain does receive new information, but sometimes when it is countering what you've chosen to believe for many years, it will feel very uncomfortable and you'll want to judge it. You got to pivot before you start placing judgment, and then you're completely unfocused. So refocus, okay? And like I said, have a question, type it in the chat. And I just want to give you a heads up, Buttercup. There will be physical movement sprinkled in and breaks because we will need a break after learning all this amazing information. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're getting started with awareness. Awareness is that we now have the awareness of the thing to facilitate a change. Okay. Number one, what is mental health? Mental health, simply put, is the thoughts that live in the memory that are unhurt. Okay. What I mean by that, it's thinking about going to a place of wholeness, a place where you don't actively torture yourself. Okay. That's the place of optimal mental health. But poor mental health, that it will feel like a battlefield every single day. You'll feel the need to justify why you feel the way that you feel constantly. Okay. That is all about mental health right here because it's the thoughts that you think. It's the thoughts that you think. And it's the remembrance of the thoughts that you think at the exact same time, and they can compound whichever which way you want to. So I have a question to ask you, and I'm going to launch a poll so you can answer it if you're currently on the Zoom chat. It's a mental health check. Okay. How many thoughts do you have that make you feel safe, unhurt, and genuine? How many? Less than 10, 11 to 25, 26 and more. What is that number? How many? I got to know. Hit the button and let me know, yo. Okay. So on the current poll, we have 11 to 25 and 26 and more. Hey, that is really awesome because that's better than none. So that's in the poll and that's continue on for some more fun. I'm excited. Aren't you excited? I am too. So let's go ahead and move to the next thing. I want to give you some stats right quick that just gonna might blow your mind, which is why the O is open in that face. Is because of the fact that an average person has 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And here's another juicy fact right here, is that 90% of those thoughts are on repeat. They're on loop and cycle and cycle. That's a lot of thoughts that you're cycling through on a consistent, and that's a lot of thoughts that you can change. My. Okay. Now that you know the thoughts, I want to tell you a little bit more. I want to dive into a little bit more of this content right quick. I want to tell you about the brain. Specifically, I want to tell you about this beauty right here, also known as the temporal lobe. Okay, this section includes the hippocampus, the amygdala, and the parahippocampal. Oh my gosh, that word is a mouthful. My. Whew. The hippocampus is the place where your learning and your memory are. It has a job, and that job is to place memories into long-term storage. If the memories have a strong enough emotion attached to them, they are more likely to be recalled. Okay, now you know about the hippocampus. Hey, you learn a new word and a new meaning. Hey, now the next thing is the amygdala. The amygdala is responsible for processing and expressing emotions, especially anger and fear, and is always on the lookout for danger or times when we feel threatened. The part of the brain that also what we call the fight or flight response, it drives this on a constant basis. This is where it parties, if you will. Now the last part is the hippocampal. This is the memory encoding and retrieval section of the brain. It is that, here we go, it's that neural pathway, if you will. It is that, it's that stream or that road in between. Okay, that information going from the expression of the emotion to actually it being fired. Okay, now since we talked about that, I want to let you know where you can get this information from. I got this from the National Institute of Health, icmbi.nlm.nih.gov. Okay, good, cool. Moving on. Now I want to talk to you guys about, now we know a little bit about the brain. I got to tell you about the chemicals in the brain. Neurotransmitters are your body's chemical messengers. They carry messages from one nerve cell across the space to another nerve cell, muscle, or gland cell. We're going to specifically focus on two of them. The reason why we're focusing on these two is because this is where we're going to understand the mental health challenges an entrepreneur faces. And it's because of those two things, adrenaline and glutamate. Fight or flight, plus your memory. Okay. Now let's go ahead and move on. So what can cause poor mental health? Talked about neurotransmitters. We understand a little bit. We understand that our thoughts, 60,000 to 70,000, a lot. They're always on repeat. Okay, now what causes poor mental health? Multiple individuals and social and societal factors, okay, and structural factors can impact the mental health throughout our lives, such as your parent being there, your parent not being there, such as how you view your grades when you're going up in school, to the environments that you're in. If you've experienced homelessness or poverty, those things are going to change how you view things when it comes to your thoughts and your mental health, including your parenting as well. Okay, all these things can factor in it, and it happens at any stage. When it comes to your thoughts, repeating, it happens all your entire life. You just get to choose which way you're going to sway. Now we're on poor mental health. I want to tell you now what it means to have poor mental health as an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, you might experience stress, anxiety, burnout, and imposter syndrome. Stress is a natural response that can motivate us to start a business, stay focused, and accomplish our goals. But stress is not necessarily the best use of your brain chemistry time, okay? And what I mean by that is being stressed also means a constant state of worry and mental tension, which is caused by a situation, a person, a place, a thing, okay? Yes, stress is a natural response that a human can have that prompts us to address challenges and threats in our lives. But it also can do us harm when it's constant and constant and constant, because through stress, you can develop anxiety. And anxiety is the feeling of uneasy or worry about a future event or situation. Okay. And when that happens, your blood pressure can go up. You'll have some physical changes that happen with it and all the in betweens. And we're going to talk more about those physical changes a little bit later because you got to know more about them. You got to know more about this. After you have anxiety, okay, you want to go to burnout. What is burnout? Burnout is technically not a medical diagnosis. I'm going to let you know that now. It's not a medical diagnosis. This is something that you experience, but it's not a medical diagnosis. Cool. Now I said that, let's move on. Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. It occurs when you feel overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and unable to meet the constant demands. Okay. As you continue to be stressed out and you start experiencing burnout, you'll get to this point. You just might, I felt this before in my life, where you're like, maybe I just don't want to do this no more. This is just too much right now. I need to do a serious pause. Is this really worth it? I'm not motivated to do this no more. That's what burnout would sound like. Okay. And imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is the feeling of inadequacy or self-doubt that makes individuals feel like they are not worthy of their accomplishments despite their track record of winning. Okay, that's the thing about this one right here. This is also not a medical diagnosis. I'll say that too. Imposter syndrome also is called cognitive distortion, aka biased perspectives we take on ourselves and the world around us. They're irrational thoughts and beliefs that we're unknowingly reinforcing over time by repeating the thought. It causes people to doubt their skills and accomplishments. They doubt others, high regard for them. They also doubt their own track history and track record. I'm just repeating that one more time so you can really hear me. Okay, here's some characteristics of it. Some characteristics of burnout can include surrounding yourself with people that are not actually actively pouring into you. And it's also when you hear that, your judger inside of you saying, nah, they're lying to you. And they're not. They're telling you the truth. You're just having issues accepting the good and not really, how do I say, you can't hear. You're not accepting the good and you are always accepting the negative. You can accept both sides of things and it be okay. Okay? Oopsie. There we go. So I want to tell you what the actual consensus that I personally came down to for all of those symptoms, the fight or flight response, and understanding about neurotransmitters and all of that. It got down to the rooter to the tutor, which is fear and trauma. Dun-dun-dun, if you will. Okay. These two things play a serious hand as to why you experience the stress in the first place and trauma in the first place. Because trauma, actually, I'm gonna pause because I just gave you a lot of information. And we just need to woosah for a brief second, okay? We're gonna do something. I know right now I'm sitting, but if you can stand, I'll recommend that you stand up. And you guys, we're gonna move for a second, okay? We're gonna groove for a second. So I'm gonna stop screen record sharing for one brief moment. Okay, I'm gonna come back to me and I'm going to walk you through this. We're gonna first by shaking our hands. Shake, 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 shake our hands. Shake, 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 shake our hands. Shake those arms. Now shake those arms. Yeah, and the shoulders. I know it looks weird, but I want you to shake them. I want you to shake them. Feel silly. Yeah, shake that torso. Shake those legs. If your legs thin down, you can shake your legs, you can shake your arms, shake everything. Shake, 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 and stop. Okay? You feel more awake? I know you do. You probably feel very silly right now too at the exact same time. You gotta love life, right? You gotta love life. So now that we paused, we gave our moment, we're gonna break for a second. Breathe for a second. Okay? I want you to breathe in. with me, okay? I'm going to count you in and I'm going to count you down at the exact same time. Is breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to do this one more time through. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now go back to normal breath. Gotta love it, right? And I will give you one more exercise, and then we're going to move on into step 2 of change, which is desire, and talking about trauma just a little bit. It's going to be fun, okay? This last exercise I'm going to walk you through is I want you to rub your fingers. Feel the tension of your fingers rubbing together. Really get centered. If you want to close your eyes and it's safe to close your eyes, go ahead and close your eyes. Yes. I want you to then put your hands together and start rubbing your hands together and really feeling your hands and all of the crevices that are there. I'm doing this with you so you can see what I'm doing. It's not just you looking like this. This is you grounding yourself. Rub your hands together and stop rubbing your hands together and open your eyes if you close them. Perfect. I'm so proud of you for taking this pause break with me. Now we're going to continue on this presentation. We're moving into desire. First, we may have got some awareness of what's happening in the brain. What is it doing? Okay, we got to the end where it says fear and trauma are the root causes. That's bring us into the desire for the better life that we are now looking for, because now we know, okay, that there's some contrast that we need to address. Okay. So trauma, say what? Okay. Trauma is an emotional, mind, and physical residue left over from a heightened stress that accompanies experiences of threat, violence, and life-changing circumstances. Okay. And so you can see my screen too. Let me go ahead and share it one more again. There we go. Share it over right quick. Perfect. Go. Let's get back to this. For you to think of trauma is a wound, injury, and that shock is generally accompanied by fear. Okay. I have arrived again. Gotta love Zoom, my awesome friends. So let's try this again. Oh, there we go. And I believe the last slide that you guys saw before it cut off was, let me actually do this, sorry. This is me. There we go. Was trauma, say what? Okay. So we finished with letting you know that there's a wound, injury, shock caused by fear. Okay, that's really the emotion that resonates with that shock. Cool. There are levels to trauma. And I'm going to give you 2 of them, simple and complex. Simple is one time, uno time, okay? Like a car accident, a house fire, a brush fire, earthquakes, cyclones, aka natural disaster, assault, miscarriage, suicide, death of a loved one, breakup. These are all still massive, but complex just amplifies some things. Complex just simply means it's a series. It's happening more than once. It's giving whoa vibes, if you will, okay? It's happening over time, like months or years. And this could be from childhood abuse, neglect, abandonment, bullying, ongoing domestic violence or abuse, repeatedly witnessing violence or abuse, being forced or manipulated into prostitution, torture, as well as some other things, prisoner of war, okay, serious illness, intrusive medical procedures in an unstable or unsafe environment. Simply put, there are levels to this. And one thing that I learned when I was really doing my research on trauma, because I was like, I got to be extra ready for this class because I just want to be able to give y'all some more facts. So what I learned about trauma is that, actually, let me start here. There's a study of epigenetics. Epigenetics is really the study of sending, oh my gosh, it's of what's in the genes, what are actually truly being passed down. And what they found through epigenetics and the study of the genes was that trauma was also implanted in the DNA cells as well. And that means that every time you experience a traumatic situation, whether it's a simple one, and you experience those multiple times in your life, okay, over different periods, okay, that's normal, okay? And then you have a child, but you never resolved your own trauma, and you have some residue still, they will inherit that trauma. They inherit all of you, including the trauma. That's what I mean by there's levels to this. Now let me give you some symptoms of trauma responses, okay? Some emotional and mental symptoms are shock, denial, disbelief, confusion, difficulty concentrating, anger, irritability, mood swings, anxiety, fear, guilt, shame, self-blame, withdrawing from others, feeling sad or hopeless, feeling disconnected or numb. Those are just the emotional, mental. Now for the physical, it's insomnia or nightmares, fatigue, being startled easily, difficulty concentrating, racing heartbeat. Okay, edginess and agitation, aches and pains and mental tension. And when I did this study, I actually talked to a marriage and family therapist about this, and they let me know some of their studies, and they said, look up the symptoms of a heart attack and look up the symptoms of an anxiety attack and look up the symptoms of a trauma response and see if those exact same things. So I did the research, like she said. I looked things up and I saw it. Symptoms of a heart attack. Pressure like pain in the chest that lasts more than 10 minutes. Pain that radiates either in the arm, neck, or jaw. Shortness of breath. Nausea and vomiting. Fainting, fatigue, sweating. Let me give you a panic attack. Shaking, feeling disoriented, nausea, rapid irregular heartbeats, dry mouth, breathlessness, sweating, dizzy. Now let me give you an anxiety attack symptoms. Feeling nauseous, okay? Feeling nervous, restless, or tense. Having a sense of impending danger, panic, or doom. Having an increased heart rate, breathing rapidly like hyperventilation, sweating, trembling, feeling weak or tired, hard to concentrate, had a really tough time concentrating on anything other than being presently worried. All the exact same thing. I find that super fascinating. I'm like, wait a minute. So when we have a trauma response, it's close to having a heart attack. But and then I have postulations, but I'm not going to get to my postulations because we're going to continue with this class. Okay, we're going to continue. The next thing I want to talk to you about, now that we know the symptoms and how severe it can get and how it can transform into it you're going from your mind to actually reacting to your body. I got to talk to you about how it even gets there. It gets there because of triggers. Triggers are reminders of a traumatic event, and that could be through it's through your sensory. It's through the sounds, it's the sights, the smell, the thoughts, or conversation. Okay. I remember when I was having my hardest when I said, I think I might have PTSD after experiencing assault. And I was going through my clothes. And as I was going through my clothes, I smelled a smell. And that smell triggered the memory of the assault. And I was like, what just happened here? This has not happened to me right now. What's going on? And I had to talk myself out of it. So this is an example of what I mean by a reminder of a traumatic event. It can be something as simple as also smelling flowers. It can be you going to a certain place and it just re-triggers the memory. Those things can happen. So triggers are from your senses. Now, after you're triggered, what happens? What comes in? Your judge. Enter. The judge is, I like to call a saboteur. Okay, I learned this from Positive Intelligence. Technically, it was Shirzad. I believe I said his name right. I'm almost positive, which is Sihzard. Okay. The judge is a universal judge that literally is in everybody. We have a judgment part of our brain that is, if I'm not mistaken, the frontal lobe area. That's why when they said that when you have alcohol, that dampens that area, which just simply means that your judgment's a little bit more skewed because that area is directly affected. Okay. And the judge is there to judge situations, but it can be used to beat you up for mistakes and shortcomings and warns you obsessively about future risk. Okay. And it wakes you up in the middle of the night and you are panicked. You're like, I don't know what's going on. Oh my God. Wait. And you realize there's nothing around you. What? That type of thing. Okay. And it will make even your friends your enemies. Can't make this up. Your judge is your greatest enemy. Or I also view it as, in my life, in my spirituality, I view that as the devil when that comes in to torment me. The feelings associated with a judge include all guilt, regret, shame, disappointment. Okay, this is all from the judge. Much anger and anxiety is instigated by the judge. Instigated, just simply put, is persistent. Sending you more communication that, hey, you should be angry. You should be anxious. Yeah, I'm going to send more of my homies to you. Like that. You feel me? And when it comes to the judge does have homies. And enter trauma responses, aka the other saboteurs. So we have the avoider. When it comes to the avoider, they're all about focusing here on positive and pleasant in an extreme way, avoiding difficult and unpleasant tasks and conflict. Can you say procrastination easily, point blank? And I just also want to point this out really fast, is that these things that I'm showing you right now are, how do I say this? These are the things that can hijack you. These are the things that can hijack your day from you actually enjoying life to you, quote unquote, having the worst day ever, or I had a really shitty day, or just it wasn't the best. Okay. Our saboteurs' patterns of thinking and feeling and reacting become soft-coded in our brains through our neural pathways. Remember the parahippocampal? Through that messaging section, that's what's being built. Each time you have a thought that you allow to stay there and you keep focusing on that thought and you keep adding and adding and adding and adding and adding to the point where when something happens and your senses are triggered, okay, you get temporarily hijacked where you instantly feel, think, and act upon the patterns of these homies right here. Okay. So I'm going to go over them really high level, really fast. Is a controller. I have this one bad. It's anxiety-based need to take charge and control and situations of and people's actions to one's own will. Okay, I'm going to force you to believe the things that I believe right now. These are my beliefs, and you must believe them. If you don't believe them, I don't believe them. I need to control this. Okay, they are high anxiety and patient when it comes to when that is not possible. Okay. Next thing is a hyperachiever. The hyperachiever is dependent on constant performance and constant performance and accomplishment for self-respect and self-validation. Latest achievement quickly discounted, needing more. Feeling like you're not enough. Continue moving and spinning the wheel. I'm not enough. I'm not enough. I'm not enough. Hyperachiever right there. Stickler. Everything must be perfect. Everything must be perfect. It has to be in order. It has to be organization, but it's taken a little bit way too far. This is anxiety trying to take on too many things, and they must be all perfect. Hyper rational. Okay, intense and exclusive focus on rational processing of everything, including relationships, can be perceived as uncaring, unfeeling, and intellectually arrogant. Okay, so everything must be logical. If it's not logical, it cannot exist. If it cannot exist, then what is life? Hyper rational. Okay, hyper vigilant is constantly in intense anxiety about all dangers and what can go wrong. Vigilant that can never, ever rest, must be in protection mode all the time. On the lookout, if you will. Next is the pleaser. Indirectly tries to gain acceptance and affection by helping and pleasing and rescuing or flattering others. Loses sight of own needs and becomes resentful as a result. Victim. Emotional and temperamental as a way to gain attention and affection, an extreme focus on intentional feelings, particularly painful ones. It's a martyr streak. I must sacrifice myself on a constant basis. It doesn't matter how many blows it takes, I will take them all. There you go. I gave you a depiction of a victim. Okay. Next one is restless. Restless is, I am on the move. I can't sit my butt down. I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay. It's constantly in the search of greater excitement into the next activity or constant busyness. Anytime I hear a person say, I am busy, I'm like, you need to sit down probably. Because busy ain't it. That ain't it. We ain't hustling until we die. No, we ain't doing that. No. Okay. When it comes to the restless, rarely at peace or content with the current activity. It must change now, and it has to. Everything keep moving. Everything has to keep moving. Everything has to keep flowing. I just. Do you hear the lack of breath in that? Okay, it's that part. That right there. That right there can bring on an attack. Right there. That thinking process. And so these are different ways that trauma responses embody themselves. And by seeing the pictures, you're also seeing the avoider. I must cover my eyes. I can't see. I see no evil. Like kind of the monkey. Or the controller. I must be the puppet master. The achiever. All the time. Stickler. Focused all the time. There's different postures to these trauma responses too. And for you, I would recommend that you take the time to figure out what ways that your trauma responses show out and what are the thoughts that start that get you to doing that trauma response. Okay, that is why I'm presenting this to you, so you have the awareness so that you can facilitate the change, because now you know, hey, when these things come up, it's time for me to pause for the cause. It's time for me to take a reflection break. I need to know what this is. So in light of awareness time, we're going to do some deep breathing again, because we're at that part of my friend. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. And out. 2, 3, 4. And one more time. 2, 3, 4. And out. 2, 3, 4. Whew. Lots of information. I know, right? Okay. So if you need to do a PQ rep, which is what the touching on the hands or the breathing is, you can go ahead and do one right now. And I'm going to send you this in the chat so you can go to it. We're heading to positive intelligence, so you can take a viewpoint on where your mind is currently at right now. Let me go ahead and add that to the chat. Do this when you're ready to. You can do this technically closer towards the end and you can just hop right off. That is perfectly fine. This is where you can check to see where your mind is currently at. So head over to assessment.positiveintelligence.com/PQ/overview. And that's how you'll find it there. And as we're on the pause for the cause, we'll do the do music. Okay. Okay. Now that you guys have taken that assessment, y'all have done what you do. We have had that woosah break. We're going to go back into more information. Okay. So let's go here. Okay. We're not doing this right now. Okay. Moving to step 3. Step 3, knowledge. This entire presentation is pure knowledge. And I get that. But we're going to go into some more specific knowledge. We're going to go into, I want you to know what a fixed mindset and a growth mindset are. Because we are taking you from the fixed mindset and moving you into the growth mindset. You joining this class right now is you already taking the initiative to get more knowledge, to stay in the growth mindset. And I'm very, very proud of you. You gotta make sure you hear your claps because you deserve them. Yes. When it comes to a fixed mindset, you are set. Okay, set as in stagnant, as in not moving. Okay, with what you currently have. When your main concern is how you look based off your performance. Okay, the effort, something you do when you're not good. Okay, give up. These are some of the challenges. Check out, take personal, get defensive. It's the feedback. Mistakes, hate them. Try, avoid making them. Must be perfect all the time, constantly on. No rest, no relaxation, no grace, no none of that. No, because you're stuck and you're stagnant. Okay, what is a growth mindset? A growth mindset is where you want to be grown, you want to be developed. You're constantly learning and you're getting better at focusing. Okay, you love every part of learning, and that's one of your favorite things. That's your driver. Okay, and when it comes to your challenges, it's all about, oh snap, I hope you guys can see my screen again. It's doing things. It is doing things. Okay, I'm almost positive you can. Just me triple check in 1 second. Okay, you guys can see my screen. Cool. Okay. Growth mindset is also about working through it and showing more grit. Okay, we gotta be cautious with not overdoing the growth process, because that is the thing. You like feedback. It actually helps you. Reason you like it so much because it gives you more awareness in regards to your blind spots. So now you can facilitate a change based off that information and observations. Okay. And you treat as mistakes as learning opportunities. They are gifts to you and me. Okay. So that's what the growth mindset looks like, and that's what it sounds like. Why is this so very important? After learning all that we learned about the brain and all how many thoughts we have and the neurotransmitters and everything stems from fear, and we learned about trauma response, we learned about all these things. Now, what is there? Well, there is resilience. Resilience is, oopsie, gotta love life. Wait a minute. There we go. Found the cursor. It happens. It's good. Okay, wait a minute. Things turning off. Okay, cool. I love life. We're doing this a new way. What is resilience? Resilience is the act of rebounding, aka the spring back, aka the hey, jump it back, loop it loop. I can get up and do what I do. That is what resilience is. And when we think of resilience, I want you to also think of 1% better. 1% better, okay? Or also known as the aggregation of marginal gains. Simply put, is that if you decide to improve in any area by as little as 1% every single day, then those small gains would add up to remarkable improvement. 1% better every single day. So something happens in your life, you have a negative vibe, a downward thought, if you will, okay? Pause it and think 1% better. That's what I'm talking about for this particular application of this. Before you react, I want you to think. Is this true? Is this helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Your only responsibility, I'm going to repeat this one more time. The only responsibility you have is your reaction to life. Period, point blank. And when I say react, I'm talking about before you think, before you allow an emotion to go and flow, before you start compounding whatever those two things are. Okay, when it comes to the thought and the emotion. Before you do that, I want you to think, is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? And is it kind? And if it's not, I'm going to talk to you guys about how do you get to the next better thought. Okay. I'm going to give you some examples right quick. Instead of saying, I'm not good at this, try thinking, what am I missing? Instead of, I give up, try thinking, I'll use a different strategy. Instead of, it's not good enough, try thinking, is this really my best work? Instead of, I can't make this any better, try thinking, I can always improve. And when you really get to the next part for I can always improve, you can get to, instead of thinking, I can always improve, it is, everything is happening for me and it is in its perfect alignment. That's the next better thought to that. So you want to go from the not so good feeling thought to the next better thought, because when you're thinking about life, is that we add a lot of adjectives to a lot of the things, because inside of our brain, yes, there's the amygdala and that does help with memory and stuff like that. But that right there is the homie that helps you tell the stories. Okay. That's the thing that creates the stories that are on the constant repeat. The constant repeat of those stories are the thoughts that are repeating on a constant basis. Okay. So you can rewire that part of your brain by thinking the next best thought, which is why I'm explaining to this so in depth and so much. I'm going to give you one more example and then we're going to move on to even more examples so we can really get this. Instead of thinking, I'll never be that smart, try thinking, I will learn how to do this. Point blank. Okay. And let's go. So when thinking about an event, we're going to start it like this. An event triggers a thought, an emotion, and a reaction. During the reaction, your brain will fire off a thought to judge and add a story to why it's happening. Everything you do adds to you. Everything you do adds to you. So let me show you, based off what's actually on the slide. Stimulus of the event. Okay. Gain of valued object, which is possess. Okay. That is what it is in your mind. It's possessed. That's the appraisal of it. That's the judgment of it. Now, the reaction to it is, oh, I gained something new. I am experiencing joy. And then for the behavioral reaction, you're going to retain and repeat. And the function of that is to gain resources. So let's say an unexpected event happened. The cognitive thought is, what is it? The reaction is, surprise. The behavior is stop. The function is gain time to orient yourself. Now let's go into a loss of a valued object. This is the event. This is the isness, okay? Now the thought of this. The thought is abandonment. And then you feel the actual reaction of sadness. And then you go and you start crying because that's your behavioral reaction. And the function is to reattach to lost object, okay? And when it comes to that, going down into that emotion is going to take you a second to climb back out, okay? I'll give you one more example. An obstacle happens. Oh my God, it's the enemy, is your thought. The reaction is, whoa, anger, okay? The actual behavioral reaction is, okay? And the function of this, destroy the obstacle at all costs. Destroy it. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's a person, place, or thing. It must be annihilated. That is what that looks like. Okay. And that repeated thought over and over and over and over and over again manifests itself into people harming each other too. Okay. That's what it can manifest itself into. Now let's go ahead and continue on. Now it's quiz time. I have this quiz for you. And this quiz is all about your emotions. And what are they displaying? What is number 1 displaying? What is number 2? What is number 3? And what is number 4? Okay, what are they displaying? Do 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 do. Mm 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 mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. Ba da 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 do ba do ba do ba do ba do 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 do. This is the whole music. This is the whole music. This is the whole music for now. Mm, mm, ba, da, 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 do, 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 da, 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 do, 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 da, 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 dum. Okay. So it looks like we got all the things answered. And let's go ahead and I'm going to share the results. And I'm going to show you the correct answers to all. Number 1 was love. I can see how you saw joy too. To me, they're synonymous with one another, even though they're technically different. Okay. Number 2, you guys all got it. It was anger. Y'all know the reaction of anger. Number 3, this beauty right here, this one is joy, but this can also be viewed as love as well. The next one, number 4, that is sadness. Okay. Sadness will have you dejected, your hands in your face, and you're crying. Okay. Now, when it comes to fear, it's I'm terrified. I'm going to guard myself. I'm going to guard my face. That is more of a fear response. And lastly, number 6, that is surprise. Like, oh, that's different. Oh, like that. Okay. And I can see how it could be constituted as fear too. Okay. Now we're done with the poll and we're going to get back on this rodeo. Yes, yes. So I wanted to show you guys what the feeling wheel is. The reason I want to show you guys what the feeling wheel is because what you'll notice about the feeling wheel is this, is that you see how on the deep outside, how it's like inferior, and then from inferior, you feel insecure. From insecure, you go down to fear because there are some base emotions that you feel. Everyone feels love. Everyone feels fear, anger, sadness, surprise, and joy. You use different adjectives to describe that feeling, but it's all the exact same thing at the deep core of it. So if you are feeling panic, then you can feel terrified. Then you can feel fear. Okay? That's what panic comes from, is fear. Fear of what? Fear of whatever it is that you're fearing for and whatever justification of the reason that you're actually saying it's for. Okay? Anger. You can go from hostile to enraged to anger. Exact same thing. Manifesting as different adjectives. Exact same thing. So now I want to talk to you about how do you go from negative to positive? How do you move up the emotional scale, if you will? Because there's a scale of things. You can move up the emotional scale by going from that fear, that grief, that depression, that powerlessness, that victim mentality, to moving up to now I feel guilty and insecure and unworthy. You know what? A, I'm jealous. You know what? Hey, now I'm gonna go into I have rage. You know what? I want revenge. You know what? I'm just angry about this. You know what? This is very discouraging. You know what? I blame da da da. You know what? I'm worried. This is going to not happen. And that's doubt. Then you can move from doubt to, man, I'm so disappointed right now. Okay. to overwhelmed to this is just way too much to I'm frustrated. I have irritation and I'm impatient right now. To pessimism, not everything's gonna work out for me. To I'm bored. I don't know what to do. Technically you're not good, not bad, you're just in the middle. Then you can go from bored to content. All is well. To I'm hopeful for the future. To hey, life is happening amazingly right now. To now you're in positive expectation. To yes, life is happening for me. It's getting amazing. To I am passionate about this thing. It's just going so swimmingly right now. To joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, appreciation. Oh my God, this is so amazing. I'm feeling so much love and so much joy right now. Like, oh, that is moving up the emotional scale. Okay. If I could depict it any better for you. Okay. That is moving up the scale. You go from going really low to going really high. Can you get from fear to joy in one jump? No, not safely at least, and not without substances, aka fracking for the exact same experience. But you can slowly but surely walk yourself back up. And when you're walking yourself back up, remember to have grace. Remember that, hey, everyone has mistakes, which are just moments that you view to be quote unquote wrong because you're judging it. You can always judge something to work in your favor instead of working against you. It's your choice on the stories that you allow your mind to repeatedly think about itself on a constant basis, how you allow yourself to think about yourself and your body, how you actually see even your spirituality and your friends and your family. Those are all your choices. And you can slowly but surely move up the emotional scale. And sometimes people are like, I'm moving up the scale. I want to teach other people to move up the scale too. Pause. If someone wants to move the emotional scale, they'll do that on their own. They'll do that unless they especially ask you. Just continue to work on your vibe and your stuff, and you don't need to worry about the others. Let the coaches handle the others. Don't worry about that. We got you. Okay? That's what we're here for. Cool. So work on you. The whole point of this entire class is you have to work on you. Because if you don't take the time to work on you, having an entity outside of yourself, such as a business, is not going to work as optimally as possible. The statistics is still that a business will literally fail within the first 2 years. I'm gonna say that one more time. The statistic is the business will fail in the first 2 years. And generally the reason why it failed is because of funding. And the funding can literally be for the person feeling like they had imposter syndrome, they were burnt out, they had anxiety, they were stressed out, all the things. Okay. So the reason why this is so important for you to hear right now is so that you can build your mind up to be resilient, because as a business owner, you're here for solutions. So that means you must see the problem, have the awareness of the problem, and facilitate that change to the problem so it's not a problem no more. It just is. Okay. What does a day-to-day look like? You got to take breaks in your day, recharge, refocus. If you're currently at a W-2 because of the fact that you are an entrepreneur, which simply means you're working at the exact same time as you're pursuing your entrepreneur stuff, okay? Remember that the breaks that they are mandatory to provide you from a W-2, take them. Take them. Don't just sit at your desk. Get up, move a little bit, go to the water cooler, get some water, get some tea, get a beverage, get a snack if you want to get a snack, and as healthy for you as possible, okay? And then go refocus and then go sit back down and continue doing the work. Studies have found when it comes to performance, just period, is that if an employee does not take the time to break, their performance goes to the wayside. Their performance is poor. Okay. Rest is essential to the best productivity that you can do for yourself. So make sure to rest. Practice self-compassion and be kind to yourself during difficult times. Don't beat yourself up and say, well, all these people are saying these things about me. Everything starts within you. So stop saying the things about that you're saying to yourself, and maybe, just maybe, the people around you are going to start changing their tune as well. Okay? Stay connected with others to avoid isolation and more stress. When you experience a trauma, the first 30 days are the most important to have people around you that are going to pour into you, that are not going to exacerbate the negative, that are going to bring in the positive, that might pray for you, if you will, okay? You need to be around people. You need to stay connected, because if you don't stay connected, then you'll start feeling like you're abandoned, even though you're not. And then you'll start building after 90 days after the incident. Okay, you generally get to your new normal, your new equilibrium, which means it's your life is never the same. It's just the new normal. Okay, the new normal could be with where you, hey, you managed it and you're fine, to, hey, the new normal is, I have a new trauma response. Now I'm more controlling. Now I'm more a stickler to the things. Now I have to achieve more because I don't feel like I'm enough. Trauma response sets in, and it compounded for an extended period of time can lead you to the stress, lead you to burnout, lead you to all those things, lead you to maybe you need to contact somebody after they persisted for 6 months, because PTSD cannot be detected within the first 30 days. Okay. So embrace uncertainty as an opportunity for growth and see the gifts in it. See, hey, everything happens for a reason. There's a reason why this is happening. I might not know it right now, but I know there's a reason. Eventually, the thought might come through of what the reason is. Oh, you're going through this because of this. You're going through this because you're going to have this person encounter this person, and their story based off that one thing is going to save that person's life. Stuff like that. Okay. And I'm going to repeat one more time just for people in the back. Seek professional help from a therapist or a counselor if struggling with stress or anxiety longer than 12 months, because this will directly impact your physical health. We already talked about how an anxiety and a trauma and a panic attack can turn into a heart attack. So before that happens, get some help. Okay, get some help. And it's okay to get help from others. It's okay to do that. There's no judgment when you do that. There's no shame attached to it, because we are literally, because I'm a coach too, we are here to help you. We literally have dedicated majority of our lives to helping other people out in this regard. So reach out, because we'll love to be able to assist you in this. Now I'm going to go more on to the this is the how. Choose your reaction. This is your only responsibility. Choose your reaction, and know that from this reaction, there's going to be communication, whether it's proper or improper communication that happens with you or the other, and with you inside of you. So be careful with that. Build a support network where people that you can surround yourself with that are going to pour that love into you, that are going to give you advice, give you encouragement, and be a listening ear when you just need a moment to woosah. Okay? Build it around you. These people can also be accountability partners. Set realistic goals. Okay? 1% better every single day. That's the goal. 1% better every single day. That's the goal. Point blank, that's your realistic goal. I already set it for you. Look at that. If you want to change the goal, go ahead and change it. But 1% is way more than enough. Take care of your physical health. Make sure to exercise, eating healthier. Okay? And actually having sufficient sleep are super important for maintaining your physical and mental health. This helps you avoid burnout and negative aspects and impacts on your overall well-being, and as well as your health. Okay. So exercise does not have to be, I'm going to go to the gym to weight lift. You can just go to the gym to walk if you want to go to the gym, or you can walk outside in your neighborhood if you want to. If you have a dog, walk your dog in the neighborhood. When it comes to healthy eating, hey, there's the thing I'm going to give you guys a part of the toolkit, which is from Advanced Food Labs. It's going to tell you the foods that inflame your body, and that's going to help you with your healthy eating as well. Okay. And when you're eating, be a little bit more mindful of your chews. Okay. But as you're masticating, which is what chewing is, there's the fancier name for it, go ahead and take your time eating. And if you take your time eating, you'll probably see a significant weight loss too. Okay. The next thing is practice resilience building exercises. What that can look like is journaling, visualization work. So closing your eyes and visualizing thing in your mind. Okay. Positive self-talk like affirmations can build up your resilience and develop a more positive mind. And you'll have more confidence in overcoming challenges because you know all truly is well. And I made it small. My bad. Oh, snap. Crackle pop. Things are happening over here. I'm figuring things out. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So I believe this is the last poll for the day. I'm going to launch it. And the question is, Which of the following self-care strategies do you most often use? Which one? Which one? And I actually added more to the ones that than you see actually on the screen. So let me go here right quick and let me go to click that and go back and there we go. Fix that. So the actual options besides what you see on the screen is exercise, meditation, or mindfulness, spending time with loved ones, all of the above. It's not an option. It's not listed as an option, or I want to develop some strategies. These what I have for you. And so what I currently see is someone says spending time with loved one is a way that they do to help with their self-care. I absolutely love that. Okay, now we're exiting out of that and we're moving on. Now let's go into action. What is self-care? Okay, that's the first things first. We're going to give you some more knowledge and then we're going to use some actions with this knowledge. Self-care is the ability to care for oneself through awareness, self-control, and self-resilience in order to achieve, maintain, or promote optimum health and well-being without medical or other professional consultation, assistance, or oversight. Okay, that's what self-care is. And that does not mean that, yay, I'm not going to go see the doctor. I'm not going to go see a therapist. I'm not going to get some professional help if I need it. No. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about the things that you can truly control. Because when you go outside of yourself, you're asking them for additional assistance with yourself. And that is self-care. Please know that. Okay, cool. Moving on. The role of self-care in your mental practice or mental health practice, okay? Mental health practice. Yeah, that's what I'll call it. Taking care of yourself is necessary for your personal well-being and it impacts your professional life. Self-care can manage your stress and anxiety, prevent burnout, and increase productivity and creativity. Okay, because you now have space to allow the productivity to roll through. Now you have the space for the creativity to roll through as well. Isn't that awesome? And when you take time for yourself, you have more energy, mental clarity to focus on your business or professional goals. Now, what different types of self-care? Because I always hear from people, oh, it's all about spending money on massages. I just have to shop. That's all it is. No, there are multiple types. There's multiple levels to this. Okay, like trauma. There's multiple levels to self-care. There's physical, emotional, social, spiritual, personal, space, financial, business. Space just means the space around you. Okay, the environment around you. And when it comes to physical, I'm gonna list a few in each category. For physical, sleep, stretching, walking, physical release, healthy food, yoga, rest, qigong. Qigong, I love it because it's slow movements and breath work and it's awareness. Okay, emotional, stress management, emotional maturity, forgiveness, compassion, kindness. Okay, social, boundaries, support systems, positive social media, communication, time together, and asking for help. Spiritual, time alone, just with you. You could be meditating, doing some yoga, have a connection with yourself for a moment, nature, journaling, or sacred space. Personal, hobbies, knowing yourself, personal identity, and honoring your true self, your true nature inside of you. Not listening to no one else but yourself and knowing you. Okay. Space, safety, healthy living environment, security and stability, organized space. Whatever organized means to you. Okay. Financial, saving, planning, money management, paying bills, splurging when you already thought about your money management and you can splurge. That's what I'm talking about. Because when it comes to, I can specifically name one saboteur. So when it comes to, it was the hyper achiever, not hyper rational. It wasn't those two. It was, oh, yes, it was the hyperachiever actually. The hyperachiever was the one for me that even when it came to my finances, I was like, I need to have this. And it used to be, I need to keep up with all the Joneses. I need to keep up with the best phone, the best laptop, the best, and the best in my bank account. Let's just say there were some red days. okay? Because the hyperachiever was on its stuff, especially when it came to my finances. Until I'm like, nah, I could take my finances over. Now I have many green days, which AKA that means there's money in the bank account. Green just mean money, red just mean no money. Okay, cool. Last thing is business, time management, work boundaries, positive workplace, more learning, and break time. Simply put, manage your time, make sure you have boundaries, make sure you're taking breaks for yourself and honoring yourself in that regard. That is the consensus on everything. And now, how do you even add this to your routine? You first got to start small. Remember, 1% better every single day. So start to incorporate what you're already doing in your life with a new self-care thing. So like me, one thing I use for self-care when it comes to my physical body is I do emotional freedom tapping, which is just tapping on different parts of my body that will help stimulate the things that I want to release, and then saying an affirmation to myself at the exact same time. So how do I incorporate that in my day? So how I incorporate that in my day is that when I go to the bathroom, I do my taps. When I take a shower, I do my taps. If I'm walking and I'm like, I need a moment. Okay, I'm walking by myself or I'm in the car, I'll do my taps. Incorporate it into your routine, whatever that may look like. Make a plan if you need to. Okay, how you're going to incorporate it and how are you going to keep track of it. Maybe having your notebook and actually writing down like a tally mark saying, hey, I took a break for myself. Doesn't matter how long it was, I took a break for myself. Hey, I took another break for myself, and just tally how many breaks you took for yourself. Okay. That'll be a way that you can make more of it a plan and actually keep track of it. Use reminders such as post-it notes, phone notifications, put it wherever you need to put it. For me, as a reminder, I have it where I actually had alarms set that rang every 4 hours to remind myself to practice gratitude and vent gratitude. Okay, I literally have the alarm set for many weeks. So that I did something like that to help me with it. When it comes to tracking your progress, keep a journal, like I said, notebook, tally mark. You can use an app if you want to use an app for that. And then stay motivated. Make sure you're having people that are championing you, making this choice constantly. Lastly, perseverance. So for perseverance, I'm actually going to be teaching you different things that you can use to bring yourself back to yourself. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to walk you through is a grounding meditation. We're not going to do this super long. It probably lasts like 2 minutes, and it will require you to close your eyes. Okay. So if it's safe for you to do so, go ahead and get into position, and we are going to go ahead and do the meditation first. And then we'll move on to venting gratitude, followed by affirmations. Lastly, wrapping that all out with EFT so you can learn what I do just a little bit. So let's go ahead and hit start. Okay, I believe you guys can hear the sound. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off my camera. Okay. Go ahead and close your eyes. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Now I want you to imagine the best way that you can what it will look like for you to sit down. Imagine you observing yourself sitting down. Now imagine a light cord coming from you, okay? Any part of your body that you want to, from your feet, okay? Imagine they're coming from your feet and they're going down. That light cord is going down. It's going into your house or wherever you're currently at. It's going into the dirt. It's going into the rocks. It's going deeper and deeper. And now it's into the sediment. It's going deeper and deeper. Now you're getting closer to the Earth's core. Almost there. You're there. The earth's core has a glowing yellow light. Wrap your cord around that yellow light. Tighten it a little bit. And go ahead and say your name. Say it again. Say it one more time. You have now grounded yourself back to the earth. You have calmed your mind down. Now let's work our way back up. Leaving yourself tethered, let's work our way back up. You're into the sediment again. You're into the rocks. You're into the soil. Now, you're back in the room that you're in. And now visualize yourself going above where you are. You're above where you are in yardstick. You're in a house. So I'm in a house. I'm above my house. Floating. I'm getting higher. Floating higher. Floating higher. I'm now in the atmosphere. Now I'm in space. Breathing. I'm breathing. Now we're going to slowly come back down. We're in the atmosphere again. Coming down a little bit more. Slowly. No fear here. Slowly. We're right above where we are. We're back in the room. Observing ourselves. Now, when you're ready, open your eyes. Brava. You have done the grounding meditation. Now that we have a more clarity and more wusa, now we're going to venting gratitude. So we can wake ourselves up just a little bit again. Okay. At least that's what gratitude does to me. If you feel any strong feelings during this exercise, that is okay. That is natural. It happens. Tears happen. Joy can happen. A lot of stuff can happen. Allow your emotions to emotion. Okay. This is a exercise that I do in Affirmation Station. I decided to throw it in here because I love doing this. This is where we take the time to vent gratitude for whatever it is that we want to appreciate and uplift in our lives. The instructions for this are simple. We start out by saying thank you and then listing whatever it is that we're thankful for. We do this in a rampage style, so that just simply means that we go in on whatever it is that we're grateful for until the exercise comes to a close. You will hear a mission completion sound, which will let you know that we are stopping the rampage. And I'm just going to say ding dong ding, okay, or pause for the cause. I'll use one of those. If you hear me say that, then you know it's the end of the exercise. So if you want to also write this out in your journal as you're doing it, let's go ahead and do it. I'm just going to do it out loud as to give you an example because this is my vent. Thank you, God, for now. Thank you, God, for this day. Thank you, God, so much for my family and my support team. Thank you, God, for my mind. Thank you for my thoughts. Thank you for my emotions. Thank you, that all of me. Thank you, God, that for my life. I accept myself. Thank you, God, so much for the time is now. Thank you, God, for the chair I'm sitting in. Thank you for the cushion I am sitting on as well. Thank you so much for the shoes that are clothing my feet and the socks that are on my feet that have the barrier in between. Thank you, God, so much for the little things. Thank you that my shoes are tied right now. Thank you so much for my legs. Thank you so much for my desk. Thank you so much for this class right now. Thank you so much for the earth. Thank you for the solar system all together. Thank you for the government. Thank you for the structures. Thank you for the contrast. Thank you for the now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Da da da. Exercise completed. Yes, yes. Okay. That's the exercise for the day. And the next thing that we're going to do is affirmations. These affirmations, I use an affirmation station as well. And the first part of it, I'm just going to do a breakdown since we're on a class right now. The first part, at least the first 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the Ho'oponopono prayer, which is a clearing prayer that will clear from your current situation right now and your ancestors. Remember, like I said, trauma is in your genes. This will clear that in your DNA as well. So say this as many times as you need to. If you're having a very triggered moment, say this, repeat this, calm yourself down, rub your fingers together, woosah. So repeat after me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am confident. I look forward to what my day brings. Everything always works out for me. And repeat these affirmations as many times as you need to for your woosah. Repeat these affirmations in the morning before you even start your day to call into your day that everything always works out for you. So no matter what happens that day, you know everything always works out for you. And repeat this and repeat this and repeat this and remember and remember and remember and have the thought for it, okay? The next thing is doing EFT. So I wanted to actually break this down so you can see a physical representation of what this is. There are going to be 3 slides talking about EFT. I'm going to go as high level as I can so we can actually get started on the exercise. I wanted to point out to the different points. EFT tapping is based on Chinese acupuncture and acupressure, and there are a lot of points along the body where these meridians can be accessed, okay? And those are our NHD points on different parts of our body. Gary Cray, the originator of EFT, took a certain number of these points and created an easy to learn and repeatable protocol that could be applied to nearly every situation for tapping. Okay, so we're first going to talk about each of these meridian points. Meridian points. This first one's called the karate chop, and it's this striking motion right here. It's literally touching this area right here. When it comes to striking down, the reason why you'll do that, it releases the feeling of stuck and promotes ease and moving forward, letting go, healing from grief, and the ability to be happy in the present moment. The next one is the eyebrows, which is this point right here, as you can see on the diagram, as well as where I'm pointing to on myself. The reason why I tap on there, it releases trauma, hurt, and sadness, which allows peace and emotional healing. The next one's the side of the eyes. This releases resentment and anger and promotes clarity and compassion. Fourth point is underneath the eye, right here, this top cheekbone area. That releases fear and anxiety and promotes contentment, calmness, and feeling of safety. Number 5 is under the nose, right here. This point is all about releasing shame and powerlessness and promotes self-acceptance, self-empowerment, and compassion for self and others. 6 is the chin, right here. Releases confusion and uncertainty and promotes clarity, certainty, confidence, and self-acceptance. Number 7, which is the collarbone, which is right here, okay, right here. This is all about releasing the feeling of being stuck again. So you have the karate chop point, but you also have the collarbone point as well. And that brings in an allowance and the ease of moving forward, confidence, and clarity. Number 8, underneath the arm, right here. That is the spleen. The spleen is all in regards to releasing guilt, worry, and obsessing, and promotes clarity, confidence, relaxation, and compassion for self and others. And lastly, is on top of the head. This particular point is actually a collection of mini meridians. Tapping on the top of the head opens the crown chakra and allows spiritual connection while anchoring in the new balance from all the other taps that you were doing. So this number 8 is a closing one, if you feel me. Close it right on up. Now let's go to this next section for some alternative taps. I'm going to go over 3 right quick. The thymus, the seat of the immune system, the sore spot, also or known as a soft spot, and then the ribs. The first spot is all about activating the immune system, saying the white blood cells that you didn't even know that that you're promoting them to send to the areas of the body that are fighting something that you don't even know that they're fighting. Okay. And it's also a closing motion. It anchors in all the new balance from all the tapping that you previously did. Number 2, which is the sore spot. This one, rubbing gently in that area releases lymphatic congestion. You may begin by tapping things by saying your setup statements right here, or setting it as the karate chop, whatever it is. So the intention can be like, I am enough, and starting like this, and then working your way to whatever your taps are. Okay, number 3, the reason why you'll tap on the ribs, it releases anger and other primitive emotions and promotes compassion, happiness, safety, acceptance, transformation, and peace. And the last diagram, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, is we're not going over the card chop point because we already talked about that, but we're going to go over number 2 to 7, which is the thumb, index finger, middle finger, pinky, and then the gamut point, okay, and the wrist. So the reason I'll tap on the thumb, it releases negative thinking, judgment, self-righteousness, grief, and loss, and promotes acceptance of self and others, healing from loss, and the ability to see the positives in life. For the index finger, it releases the difficulty of forgiving yourself and letting go of past hurts, which allows self-forgiveness, releasing the past and being more joyful and peaceful in the present. Number 4, the middle finger. This has everything to do with anxiety and releasing it, and sexuality issues, which promotes bonding, relaxation, generosity, and acceptance of self and others, and trust. Number 5 is the pinky. Releases smaller anger, annoyances, and frustrations, and it promotes unconditional love, forgiveness, compassion, and self-care. And then for number 6, the gamut point, it releases repetitive thinking, obsessing, and worry. It promotes hope, the calmness of the mind, clarity, and connection with positive possibilities. The gamut point is literally, okay, so as you see on the diagram, it's right here. The karate chop was right here on the fleshy part. So a little bit in, that's the gamut point, and that's where you can tap on. And then for the wrist, there are many meridian points in the wrist, and the wrist will also help you release anxiety, depression, and can aid in reducing insomnia and heart issues. Okay, now that we know all about these fun things, I want you to choose 2 different locations that we just learned about. You don't have to have any reason as to why you're choosing them, just choose 2 locations and start doing that tap. So for me, I'm going to start my tap with actually my gamut point on my hand. Okay, and repeat after me while tapping on the area. I love myself. I trust myself. I honor myself. I value myself. Pause repeating after me, and then go ahead and switch to your second point. I'll make my second point my sides, okay? Now repeat after me again. Every day and in every way, I'm getting better and better. Every day and in every way, my life gets better and better. Every day and in every way, my finances are getting better and better. Every day and in every way, my health is getting better and better. My success is inevitable. Go ahead and stop tapping and then stop repeating after me. You just did EFT. I'm so proud of you for trying something new. Now I'm going to go over a high level of the gift box that I have for you, because we are coming to a close with this presentation, and I'm so thankful for you coming and swinging by and joining the class and saying hi. So what I have for you is the growth toolbox. The growth toolbox will be sent to you by March 14th, which is Tuesday. I owe this to you by Tuesday. And it's going to be a document that is going to give you the resources that I personally use in my life to help me with my mental self-care. It includes the positive intelligence, books that I listen to, apps that I use on my phone, groups that I'm a part of, such from Facebook and Clubhouse, as well as Wisdom, to what I use for my health to make sure that what I'm eating is also helping me help my brain at the exact same time, because what you put into your body also changes the chemistry that's going on inside your brain. So being mindful of that. I'll also be seeing some podcasts that I personally listen to that help me with my mind, as well as Affirmation Station, because I built that podcast to help you with your mind. Some positive social media accounts that you can follow so you can have more from the algorithm that serves you up more of what you're actually looking for. And then some YouTube videos to listen to. Abraham Hicks is a very good person to listen to all day if you're working on your thought processes, as well as there's also Tubby Nugget is another one. He's very cute and he's adorable. And then there are some TED Talks that I'll send you as well. Some Donna Eden, energy medicine. If you're working on your body, because that's your exercise, I'm also going to send you a dance instructor named Fitness Marshall. And also use some music to listen to on your Spotify and stuff like that to help you throughout your day and pick you up in the morning. And some teachers that I look at their work and study their stuff to learn more about myself. I'll be giving you all that for free. Expect it in your email because you registered for this event, and I'm so very proud of you. And that brings me to thank you so much for coming to today's presentation. I am so thankful for you for the ability to co-create this space with you, to be able to provide you the information that you are looking for to learn more about your mental health. Thank you for having me. If you'd like to work with me, go ahead and go over to jclv.com, hit schedule, and you can book an appointment with me. If you're looking for, hey, I want merch because I like wearing things on my body that make me feel good, go ahead and go to my link tree because I do have merch available for a purchase that you can use to help raise your vibration as well. And the last thing I have, what's next? You tell me. What would you like to learn about next? And I'll get together a presentation. And because you followed me on Eventbrite, if you didn't, you can go ahead and do that now. Okay? You'll get notifications when I have a new class come out. And that class could very well be your class. If you don't have the answer now, that's okay. Connect with me on that link tree and you can go ahead and let me know in a DM. Okay? Or a WhatsApp, or you can call me. I have multiple ways that you can reach me. Are there any questions? Because that's how I want to end the day. Let me stop presenting and come back here. Let's see. I have someone I think trying to ask a question, so I will do that.
Hello, Charente.
Hello.
Thank you for that class. That was very informative. I really appreciate it. Oh, wow. I love your background.
Thanks. Any questions, concerns, or do you want to add anything? So if I'm not mistaken, you're Lois Hampson, MAMFT, right? You actually have a master's in marriage and family therapies and a bachelor's in psychology. If I'm not mistaken, or I could be wrong.
So you're correct. You're correct. That's who I am. I found your class very informative. You gave out some very in-depth, detailed information that will help people if they apply it. You know, because the key to learning is instant application. If you don't instantly apply it, you don't wire what you just learned. It's just like you created this new brain chemistry and this new neurons firing, stuff, this new pathway. And if you don't continue to fire the neurons on that pathway with sustained thought in that area, you don't keep it. Okay. So the longer, the further you get away from learning it and not practicing, then it's like you've never learned it at all. However, if you heard it from somebody else again, you would get an epiphany. Go figure. Because you denied doing it when you first got it. So that's Lois's learning theory. If you reject it by not applying it, you lose it until somebody else brings it forward to you. That's the reason why you can nag all the time for somebody to do something for you. Excuse me. Nag all the time for somebody to do something for you, and then they never do it, because once they rejected that from you in the first place, they can no longer hear it from you. So no matter how many times you say it over and over and raise your voice and cuss and scream, they can't even hear you, because they already done blocked that out, because they didn't fire them neurons when they first got that instruction, or when you get that instruction. So for instance, while you were speaking and doing the meditation, I was doing it with you, although I was also busy and in the tapping. In order to wire it in me, I had to do it with you so that I can see how it was done and just do it with you. Now, had I not done that, I wouldn't have, so I wired something right there. Now, in order for that to become a habit or function of me for a sustained amount of time, I must continually practice it on a daily basis so that I basically record it inside my brain. And then as those nerve cells that fire together, they wire together, and then they lock themselves in, and they form a myelin sheath around the nerve, and you're hardwired for that behavior, so that your automatic reflex or response is going to always be to go back to that. That's why I teach people to, when you make a mistake, MISSEDTAKE, when you make a mistake, you sit with yourself and you play in your mind, in your visualization, in your imagination, how good you would feel if you had responded the way you wish you respond. And then paint the picture of how you wish you would have responded. And then practice that in your imagination, how good it'll feel, so that the next time you come upon that situation, whether it's a broken shower head or whether it's a refrigerator or whether it's an accident, and you responded in a way in which you knew was not in coherence with your inner self, and you don't want to vibrate nothing wrong, you redo that and you replay it. And then when that time comes again for you to do it over, because you missed that take, so you're going to have to do it again. It's already hardwired for you to do it because you've been rehearsing it in your mind. And that's as with the law of attraction. If you want something in your life, you can't rehearse what it is you don't want, because all you're doing is saying more please to that. But if you rehearse what you do want, and the feeling of having what you wish to have by visualizing and feeling yourself in it, because the thing is, that the bottom line is, you want to experience joy. And you can experience joy without that, what you want, or without the manifestation of anything. You can experience joy. So you create that experience within you, hold that vibration in you as you think about that which brings you joy, and you'll get more of that. So I like the way you said that, because about the stress and dealing with the stress and the way the brain works, because it is so true that every thought is a vibration. And depending on what thoughts you choose, you can create a very stressful panic situation for yourself, or you can create something that's good for yourself, as in the case of say, for instance, depression. Depression is thinking about the past over and over and over again, just ruminating on the past, whereas anxiety is ruminating on the future over and over and over again. And you can't do anything about the past because it's past. And you don't know what the future holds. So therefore, why put some crap in it? Okay, so this was very good. This was a very good teaching. And I just wanted to add a few things, because that's just who I am.
And I thank you so much for doing that. That's why I put it as a stage, like the stage A. Um, And I will say this is I thank you for joining and participating in the entire class. My question to you would be this is what are you going to take from this class to really work on for yourself?
Well, I'm gonna continue intercepting my saboteurs, the stickler, the judge, basically the judge that judges things to be a certain way when I don't know the reality of what it is. Because something I judge today, now I may judge to be good, and later I find it to be bad. Or I might judge it to be bad, and later I find it to be good. So it's about arresting the judge when I see it come up, whether it's playing out as the stickler where things got to be perfect before I make a move, or whether it's playing out as being hyper vigilant about what's going to go or what's going to happen. It's about subduing those saboteurs. And because I really, really like that part about your presentation. And then I also really like the emotional wheel and the guidance scale, because it's easy when you have it in front of you where you can see, hey, I could feel this about that. And you may be able to jump more than one step at a time. You may be able to jump from the bottom to maybe the middle, because you may be able to flip it fast. And the faster you flip it, the better your vibration and the better you feel and the clearer you see. So those are going to be some of my takeaways, is using that wheel and that guidance scale, and continuing forth, arresting that saboteur that tries to hijack my plane. Okay, because I'm flying. I'm flying, damn it. Okay.
I like
And
that you're flying and you're not driving no more.
okay. So it's a matter of arresting those saboteurs.
Thank you so much for that. So now I bid you guys adieu, as in we're going to stop recording right now. And I love you so very dearly, and I can't wait to work with you. Okay, jclv21.com. jclv21.com. That's all you got to remember from this.
Charente, if you would, what does JCLV stand for?
Oh, sure. JCLV is actually Joyously Coaching Life Victory. That's what it actually means.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I just wanted to know. Thank you.
No
All right,
worries.
bye.
No worries. I forget to explain that sometimes. I was like, I have changed the adaptation of what it means to me in a lot of different circumstances, kind of thing, even to where I'm like, oh, it's about leadership victory and this and this. And I was like, no, it's Joyously Coaching Life Victory, because that's who I am. I've always been a coach. So.
Okay. Thank you, Charente.
Thank you. Stopping the recording.